Now, the last stump speeches have been given and the final rallies have been held. After a bitterly fought presidential campaign, it is Election Day in America. Democratic nominee Joe Biden closed out his final event in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with a rallying cry to take back our democracy. The former President Barack Obama stumped for his one-time running mate in Florida, urging the crowd to put an end to the politics of division. The Republican incumbent, Donald Trump, raced through 5 rallies in 4 swing states on Monday, calling on his supporters to prove the polls wrong and deliver him another surprise victory. Well, our reporter Colin Campbell has the latest for us from Washington, D.C.
There's a little something going on here called Election Day, and there are some people that are very much on edge right now. Law enforcement officials across the country, most of them are preparing for the worst, but are hoping for the best. And what this means is right now we have high fencing that's being put up around the White House. You have New York City police on high alert. And then we have the FBI monitoring various movements that are happening across the country in recent weeks. They've arrested militia members. There was an attack on the Democratic compound council in Texas, where there was vandalism, spray painted outside of their headquarters in Houston. And then in Beverly Hills, we had some fighting where some voters actually fought each other in the streets. And so police are hoping that it doesn't get violent over the next couple of days, but they are preparing for what could be a violent outcome as the poll results are slowly coming in. There might be litigation involved. People are cautiously optimistic that won't happen. But again, police are not taking anything for granted right now. Even here in Washington, D.C., just a few blocks away from where I am right now, police have set up staging areas in case protesters hit the streets and there are some acts of vandalism or looting and rioting going on.
There have been almost 100 million votes already cast and quite high turnout predicted over the course of today. It's already started, though, voting in Dixville Notch. So tell us about that.
Well, yeah, Dixville Notch, about 5 of the votes went to former Vice President Joe Biden, but just a little while away, the town of Millsfield, all of the votes, or 16 of the votes, went to Donald Trump. 16, he won over the former Vice President 16-5. And some people look at Dixville Notch as could be a possible bellwether, but that really hasn't been consistent. In 2016, the candidate Hillary Clinton won in Dixville Notch, but we know that the president won that state within the Electoral College vote count. So we can't really say that that is going to be a predictor, but what it could indicate is that within this state, with 2 towns not too far from each other, just how divisive and contentious this election is. And this is carrying out across the country as the former vice president leads the president in slim margins in some of the swing states. And we're hoping to see how that plays out throughout the day, as millions of voters have already cast their ballots, and there are expected to be long lines at election centers across the nation. And those will definitely affect the outcome and the vote count, as people are watching it every hour until a decision is made. And that may not be for a couple days.